And overshadowed in recent times by their great rivals Barcelona, Real Madrid desperately seek European success. And if you go into their quite magnificent trophy room, almost blinded as you are by the silverware and show, you see on a special plinth the original European Cup, which stands as a symbol, and not just of one team's success, but of a great era in world football. Times have changed though. Runners-up to Barcelona on 3 occasions, then finishing 4th in the league last season. It certainly has, I think, been a reflection of bad times both on and off the field where they've had financial difficulties. Sporting Lisbon, by comparison, have not had that kind of European success. They haven't won the Champions Cup, as have Real, but they have won the Cup Winners' Cup. That was back in 1964. As we start this game, I think Real Madrid and Sporting, looking to the recent records, are unbeaten in their first and opening games of their respective leagues. Little to indicate or get an indication of any particular form at this stage. And since that great era when, having won the Cup 6 times in a row, Real were able to keep it, they haven't really reached these peaks again. Won this trophy in 1985 and 1986. But their great aspiration is to get into the Champions League. No disrespect to the UEFA trophy, they'll be looking to see if they can pip Barcelona this time. It has been an agonizing period for them. Sporting Lisbon, on the other hand, another club in a kind of sense overshadowed for a much longer period by their great rivals Benfica. Ball played back. Kike was playing it easily across. Great deal of pressure on both these clubs. It means a lot to them financially. Real Madrid having had terrible financial period over the past couple of seasons. That ball was put in by Kike. No Redondo or Alcorta playing in this game, both injured. Ball swept across there by Fernando Hierro. Touched into midfield to Milla, Luis Milla. Spreading the ball about and getting a bit of width. Hooked in there by Michel. And in this opening spell, Real knocking the ball about confidently. Michel again, nice curled ball. And then came Luis Zamorano, the Chilean internationalist, a really fiery character, brought from Seville a couple of years ago. And look at the way he came in for that. Little courageous run forward, inclination of the head, not quite coming off. And so far they've been plying Jose Michel on this right-hand side. Real player going down in the box. The recognizable features of Michael Laudrup. Appealing to the referee that he got studs right across the elbow. And the referee doesn't seem to be all that interested as Martin Vasquez laid it out to the side. It's all Real at this stage. And look at that, that was almost like a rugby tackle. It's going to be a yellow card this time, surely. Referee standing, no nonsense. And so into the book, Manuel Pech. Young player, only 21. And watch this tackle. Low down, and I think graphically illustrating the way he went straight through that ball and up, giving support in the penalty area, Luis Milla. And I'll tell you what, Real Madrid will be delighted that Paris Saint-Germain are playing in the Champions League and not this cup. Or the goalkeeper, Le Magique, slightly misjudging that. The reason I say that is Real have been knocked out of the UEFA Cup in the last couple of seasons by Paris Saint-Germain. Indeed, I was in the Parc des Princes for the first occasion in a quite astonishing game, which seesawed right up into the last second of extra time. Laudrup. Run by Zamorano again. And look how dangerous he is when he comes right across the box with these diagonal runs. It doesn't matter if they're facing adversity, Real Madrid. This is a wonderful atmosphere in this stadium. Touched and little touch, I think, by Dubovsky. Didn't get it cleanly though. Still the pressure goes on. And it's going to crawl over, it has! Martin Vasquez from way out. And what a streaky goal that was. And I'll really be very interested as that camera swoops up to the high, almost canyon-like tiers of the Bernabeu. Interested to see a look at the goalkeeper again. Oh dear. And that was zilch out of 10 for that attempt. Body wasn't behind it at all, and there was a slight deflection. I think it should be slightly more charitable. There's a brilliant turn on the ball and brilliantly saved by Francisco Bullo. Great play by Sapinto, who scored 11 goals last season, and no wonder he's one of the most dangerous players. Look at that swivel. Still 1-0. That first goal coming in 11 minutes. Vujacic way down in the corner there with that kind of look of determination, so characteristic of an ex-Yugoslavian internationalist. Ball played back by Kikwe. Forward goes Sanchez. Luis Enrique was away out on the far side. Just trying to coach Sporting forward. Great run forward there by Kikwe, and I think he took his eye off it. Did all the right things. Watch the turn inside, and he was, ooh, no, from that angle, couple of yards offside. At the back, Stan Welch, the man who played against Romario in the World Cup. Ex-PSV player, used to play with Romario as well. And there's a run forward by Zamorano again, and he's annoyed with the linesman. The sharp features of the Chilean international. Began his football in Spain with Seville. Played out there by Sapinto. Nelson. There's a lot of attacking from the full-back position. Leaves a little space at the back, though. Look at the balance of Laudrup. Really couldn't get any regular place in the Barcelona side. Made a very good run forward, then didn't quite get hold of it. And he's still looking down at that elbow of his. I think he had a justified complaint to the referee. You could see he was falling too far back and simply getting no purchase on the shot at all. Zamorano having to come back, fetch and carry a little bit more as the service has dried up to him there again. The ball hooked away by Oceano. Hooked across by Michel. Dubovsky. Dubovsky fought well for that. Next, Slovan Bratislava player. And Laudrup trying to take on a man too many. Luis Enrique. You might remember some of these players, of course, they may be fresh in your memory from the World Cup. And Luis Enrique from that infamous incident against Italy there. Oh, there's that a penalty kick. The referee pointing to the spot as Zamorano went forward. And what's been given? Offside. Well, look at them out of the dugout on both sides. Watch the pass going forward. There's no offside there. Oh, and the goalkeeper took the feet away from him. Watch a beautiful ball by Laudrup. Well, that was a movable force, and I think Zamorano was taken off the field. Justified complaints. Now, he came back the way to beat that ball, but when the ball was passed, I think he was onside. I don't think there was anything too seriously wrong with him. Sporting Lisbon very fortunate to get away with that. This is Nelson. Just on half-time, they've shown hardly anything up front apart from that early shot by Sapinto. And headed forward there by Oceano. He's annoyed with himself. Well, I think he did very well to run so deep from midfield to catch up on this. No, it wasn't the easiest of chances, and I think his annoyance is because it came so close. And there goes the halftime whistle, the only goal of the game scored in 11 minutes by Martin Vasquez. But I think there should have been a penalty kick. Zamorano brought down. Halftime score 1-0. Well, Real might be one goal up at the start of the second half, but I think they're experiencing a strong sense of injustice. They should have had a penalty kick. They've also brought Amavisca on. Amavisca, number 16. By far the better side in that first 45 minutes. They had total control of midfield. They looked dangerous. Zamorano just held at bay and no more. And especially by Zoran Lemagic, the ex-Boavista goalkeeper. Talking about goalkeepers, the coach, Jorge Valdana, chose Bullo in his game. Francisco Bullo, who's 36 years of age, thinking of Canizares, who's a much younger man, might be less experienced and perhaps a bit more under pressure in this particular game. Although having seen Canizares under pressure against Denmark in the World Cup qualifying game when he saved a game for Spain, that might be a little bit surprising. But they are one up. Probably want a little more than this. Away goes Sporting, and offside is Sapinto. And I would guess that is not a fraternal remark he's addressing to the linesman. Pushed forward by Mila. Oh, that's great play by a man who used to play for Barcelona. Brought his talents to the great rivals. Great deal of determination about the attacks on this right-hand side. Figo puts it in and it punched away. And in midfield, Michael Laudrup, who's had a lot of rough treatment in this game. And the booking there for Oceano. Used to play in Spanish football, well known here, getting a special bout of derision from the Terracings. Played for Real Sociedad. And so many fine touch players like Michael Laudrup come in for a fair amount of abuse in modern football, unfortunately, even with all the modern tendency to try to clean up the game. Well, a lot of irritation growing out in the field there. While the two lads are on either side, Sapinto and Figo looking very penetrating now, really running forward with a great tone of aggression about the play. We saw Figo on the other side just a few seconds ago. That's picked up by Nelson. Touch back. Was it deliberate? Oceano pushing forward whenever he can. This time on that side it was Figo. That gives you an indication of how narrow the lead is. Here's Luis Enrique. Luis Enrique hasn't come forward all that much in the game. Perhaps a little concerned about leaving gaps down this right-hand side, where they're looking very strong, as Marcelo Aurelia puts it out to the side. Now picked up by Figo. Can he score? No. They did absolutely everything right. And inside him was Oceano, probably originally in that offside position. And once again, that Real defense was caught very flat indeed. Much better performance by Sporting in the second half. This is the substitute, Amavisca. Luis Enrique. Oh, a lot of the fire and fluency got out of Real in midfield. Well, just getting a little touch to that. They're winning the balls, as you can see for yourself, in midfield. Away goes Figo again. 1-to-1, looks for support. And it comes brilliantly saved by Bullo. Well, I was drawing a comparison with that younger goalkeeper, Canizares, near Yogi Valdana, out of his bench, looking down sternly at that defense, caught out again. Now Michael Laudrup. Hesitation by Amavisca. Teeing it up for it, try to chip the ball forward. And now they're trying to turn the tide just a little bit. In the past 20 minutes has been virtually all Sporting, and I think they've been making the better thrust by using the two wide men, Figo and Sapinto. Good run forward there by Vujacic. Well, that's tempting again. Just inside him was Juskoviak. As I said, both Sporting and Real unbeaten so far in the league. Early days yet, but Juskoviak has scored a couple of goals, and a couple of very good goals at the weekend for Sporting. He's beginning to pick up the ball just outside the penalty area. Oh! That was the man I mentioned. Almost taking the woodwork away. Watch this strike. No messing about. And Real desperately lucky to be in the lead. This will be a great view of that one. And almost lifted that crossbar right up to the heights of the Bernabeu. Much more competitive game in this half. I can Laudrup judge it, and he can't. Difficult to know why the fluency has gone out of this side. I did point out that European success and a very good run in Europe is so vital to Real, who've had really serious financial problems. Once again put forward by Vasquez. This is the substitute, Amavisca. Away from Laudrup as he came forward. And I wonder if the new Real coach, Jorge Valdana, looks back on the kind of pressure his Real side used to put on teams. Because he was in a couple of the Real sides which actually won the UEFA Cup in '85 and '86. But very good defending, tight defending there. 3 men right across the box. Good cover marking, and the coming out courageously. That was Marco Aurelio coming forward. Well, you can hear the Madrileños in the background. Whistles of derision. I do like the style of this man on the right, Figo, interchanging as he is with just behind him Sapinto. That's Figo, Luis Felipe Figo, who was part of the Portuguese, very successful Portuguese European youth side, champions. Only 21. Sapinto on the other side is only 21 as well. And if you take these ages into account, this is a very young side. Allied to the youthfulness of the Portuguese side, I think we may get interesting results coming from that side of the Iberian Peninsula in the next 4 years. This is Sapinto. Too high. The drive in, good save again by Bullo. That time Figo firing it in. 2 great young players we've seen on show. Now, Oceano. Touched by Figo. Juskowiak. And they punched up well, Real there. Now, they've been defending far too close to that 18-yard line. Notice how the referee ducked out of the way, and perhaps Francisco Bullo only had a fleeting glimpse of that. Real have been almost totally outplayed in midfield in the second half. Just getting a little bit edgy in defense. Stan Vels, the Dutchman, just getting a little final touch to that. If the score remains the same, I think we're in for a marvelous return leg. This Portuguese side have shown a different, they've almost been a Jekyll and Hyde side. Looking quite insipid in the first half and then menacing, the teeth, the fangs showing, as it were, in the second half. No pressure on central defense. Marco Aurelio with it. Now this is where they've been mastering Real in the second half. Juskowiak played in an entirely different Spanish setting in Barcelona. Number 9 you can see there for Sporting in the Olympic Games. He was a top scorer in the Olympic Games and played in that memorable final against Spain. Scored a goal there as well. So he's well known in Spain. Played for Lech Poznan, of course. And now just knocking the ball about. I wonder if it really has crossed the minds of the coach, Carlos Queiroz, that even losing by 1-0 would be something of a reasonable result against a famous side in this intimidating setting. While he does like to take players on, Sapinto, they're like twins, Sapinto and Figo. Well, you can see very wisely, a young player there, but wisely trying to take the ball to the corner where it is difficult to dispossess them. They certainly got rid of that ball, and the ball got a watch ball. Zamorano. Well, I thought he should have had a penalty kick in the first half, and the referee, adding insult to injury, turns away from that one as well. Well, the players seem to go across us, and perhaps on the evidence of the slow motion replay, there might have been a little unnecessary embellishment going on there by Zamorano. And there, the figure, top of screen there, the referee pointing to the dressing rooms. That's the final score. Real Madrid, that goal scored in 11 minutes by Martin Vasquez, gives this club what I think will be a perilous journey to Lisbon in the next leg. That's a game I'm sure you'll be seeing next week.